Kids and teens released from state custody, they often end up back in the system. OJJ says as many as 14% from 2021 to 2022, and trends show that increases year after year.
Yeah, so how do we keep that from happening? The Florida Parish Detention Center thinks they might have an answer, as a group serving their sentence is also being given an opportunity. Alyssa Curtis has their story.
Behind the rigid walls and sharp barbed wire of the Florida Parishes Juvenile Detention Center.
The way it's set up right outside of the Forever Loop.
Or sounds and sights many probably wouldn't expect.
Focus on one problem.
Including those who are serving sentences there.
Do you know what it means when it says heading?
Were you guys ever interested in robotics before this?
No, not really.
Click reverse.
We have a post-adjudicated program where kids are actually sentenced or adjudicated delinquent and put in our custody.
If the eye detects the object.
The classroom looks like others across the state.
Having an issue with figuring out what the heading is if it would be driving straight forward.
But this program for incarcerated teens, you'll only see within the walls of the detention center.
Do 2.5.
2, 1. We would have to get one robot to the other side without hitting other robots.
So we got the commands on this side of the computer, and we got the section where we got to put the commands at in order to make the robot function.
The center has teamed up with North Shore Robotics, and for the past few weeks, the kids have been learning to code and bring robots to life.
It's turning. It's turning. It was super cool. When we first started, we got to tinker with the robots and make them do basic functions. It was just really cool seeing your work get put into something live as you're doing it.
Executive Director of the Detention Center, Joseph Dominic, says at first there was some hesitation.
It's very difficult to get kids to open up to something that they're not familiar with, especially kids that are used to criminal behavior.
In the Gulf South.
But North Shore Robotics Board President and the kids' teacher, David Shapiro, says within the first session, the kids were hooked. And you can tell from the way their faces light up, the interest has grown.
There's a vacuum, and they're just absorbing this information as quickly as they can.
I think I know what's wrong with it.
They're gaining skills that giant tech companies look for in potential employees.
I think it's something that's like an uncontrollable variable.
But
It's really bigger than just the little robots that we work with.
beyond the STEM education, they're getting life education that will help them inside the detention center and after they leave.
Problem-solving skills, teamwork, because, you know, I plan on having a job. Obviously, I got to work around other people and things like that. And me working with the other youth and things like that just, you know, makes me better prepared for when the time comes.
It's going to wait 1.5 seconds.
Teamwork.
But if one robot mess up, all of them will mess up.
Communication.
Above it.
Leadership.
And then we'll have to find a comparison.
Focus.
I mean, the red one.
And I feel like we're putting our minds to work doing it, and I feel like that's really good for us.
Part of the detention center's purpose is to rehabilitate, but rehab may not be the right word. Shapiro says instead of just fixing what may be injured, they're taking it a step further.
I'm not just helping them get their leg back, I'm helping them get a bionic leg, right? So not only are they going to be rehabilitated, but they're going to be able to do something more than when they came out of here. That gives them more opportunities and more experiences.
And it's giving the kids hope for a future outside these walls.
Okay. Boom. But for now, I can't really see myself working with like robots and things, but I'm really very interested in programming the computers for Tesla, you know.
I don't know exactly, but I would feel like tech-wise, it'd be a good job interest to me.
And in the meantime, a new hobby.
This is just the start, and I feel like that would be really cool, like especially if we were able to drive a robot and it had like a little cool arm that could do cool stuff.
An escape from the doors that keep them in. Alyssa Curtis, WWL, Louisiana.
I love to see that program. North Shore Robotics and the Detention Center, they hope the kids can get certifications and mentorship that will help lead to future jobs in IT. And they hope to grow the program and compete with their own robots one day. And coming up in March, I'm going to show you how that program being brought to the Detention Center was inspired by our series, The Talk.